Hey everyone, Charlie here. I hope you're all doing well. So one of the things that I've talked about before on this channel is the Japanese hot spring, or the onsen, right? And I was really interested to see during that time the different opinions you guys, as foreigners like me, the different opinions you had about coming to Japan and sort of getting involved in that part of the culture. For those of you who you either don't know at all, or you're not that familiar with a hot spring, basically you go to a building that is divided into a male and a female side of the building. Some of them are mixed, but that's kind of rare by comparison, I guess. But anyway, you go in, you shower in there, and then you bathe in these, usually, if it's called an onsen, a very hot, natural spring of water, right? In like these sort of man-made ceramic basins. Now, what is most uncomfortable, I suppose, for foreigners like me, is the idea of being naked around other men. I think this is particularly a problem for straight men, at least in the States. Straight men are very typically, at least, of a make where we don't like the idea of being naked around other men. We don't like the idea of other men being able to see our junk or us being able to see theirs, just in case we slip and fall, I guess, onto a wayward penis. I don't know, it's kind of strange to me, but anyway, since I've been here, this has become something that I really enjoy, both with friends and just going by myself. It's super relaxing. It's good for your skin, and it's just a cultural experience I think you should definitely take part in. And yeah, also bonus, it's very cheap to do, right? But I don't want to talk about the specifics of the onsens too much. What I do want to talk about is some of the awkward things that can happen when you go to an onsen as a foreigner. And I apologize ahead of time because for some of you this is going to maybe confirm some of those fears you have about coming over here and trying this for the first time, but believe me when I tell you, things can get awkward, but they will be okay. Now the first thing is being asked at the registration area by the cashier, the clerk, whatever you want to call him or her, if I am gay. Now I should point out that this only happens when I am with another foreign male. This never happens when I'm with my Japanese guy friends or whatever. I would assume that's probably because, first off, yeah, they assume you're American, not Canadian, maybe not British at times. I don't know about that. I can't speak to that too much, but yeah, they will assume that you're American, and knowing that you're American or thinking you're American, and knowing most likely that the more progressive stance on homosexuality is becoming like more and more of a thing in the States. I don't know, they're just kind of curious sometimes, I guess. And it's not offensive to me, because I don't care if you think I'm gay or not. Like, that's cool, like, fine, think what you want to think, but it is a little strange to me that this is a question that is so, like, asked without any kind of embarrassment, considering how much embarrassment surrounds any other kind of sexual talk between strangers, I guess. Unless you're at an izakaya and somebody's gonna grab your junk. That's a different story. Alright, now the second thing is the thing that's, like, many of you have told me in the comments and on Twitter or whatever, that you fear the most about going to an onsen is that people, you're afraid that people are going to stare at your different bits, right? Oh, don't want to knock over Asuna back there. Whether that's your lady bits or your man bits or whatever, is that, yeah, if you are a foreigner, chances are people are going to look to see what kind of, what kind of missile you're packing. Anyway, I don't know, weird metaphor there, but now that said, it is usually not the case where people are going to stare at your business, right? Unless they're little kids tend to stare a bit more in general, but it's really fine. It's really fine. Like, the thing is that you have to understand over here that, generally speaking, Americans are, of any race, are thought to be more well endowed than others, so it's just sort of like people checking to see whether or not that stereotype is true or not. So yeah, it's super awkward, but I will say that having people look at you like that, even just a glance, or if it is one of the rare people who will actually stare at you, I don't know, for some reason it makes me feel more confident about my body, because I just like, alright, well, whatever, they're gonna look anyway, it's not gonna change how I look, for better or for worse, so what does it really matter, right? So, for those of you out there who, when you think about going to an onsen, you're a little you know, you're a little scared or uncomfortable about people looking at you. It's going to happen, but nobody's going to say anything to you about, at least to my experience, nobody's going to say anything to you about sizes or whatever. So, get over it. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk about may seem to contradict what I just said, but by and large, at least as a matter of observation, people here are less likely to scape their business, right? Yeah, men here seem less likely to manscape, so to speak, than say somebody from America would be, where I know it's kind of a much more common practice. So I will say that if you are interested in not having a kind of awkward conversation, somebody that asks, it's like, why are you not terribly, what's a word? Hirsute, right? Why are you not like walking around with your full Chewbacca on? Then maybe, I don't know, the only thing you can do, I guess, is rethink your shaving habits, but otherwise just be ready for that awkward kind of conversation where you're just like, I don't know, you can tell them anything, right? Like, just tell them, I guess, the truth. Just be honest about it and don't worry about it. It's just people asking you because they're curious. And I should point out, in this case, I've never had a stranger ask me about this. Like, nobody, like some random old guy has never been like, what's going on with your business down there? But my male friends who I've gone with are very, very open about sort of body talk when you're sitting there in the onsen, and they're very curious to know, right? So anyway, guys, these are the 3 things that may happen to you when you go to an onsen. I think these things probably happen to both men and women, although I can't report with any sort of accuracy because despite having breasts every now and then when my weight goes up, I don't know at all what it is like to be a woman living in Japan. So, that said, thanks always for watching, guys. Please let me know about your experiences in the onsens here in Japan. Are you uncomfortable? Have you gotten over that discomfort? Yeah, let me know. Love to talk to you about it. And yeah, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.